Hi everybody, it is Teresa with Indigo Moon Arts on a happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing well. And this morning I am playing with epoxy clay, which I like to call cement clay because its properties allow you to once mix the two-part resin, which is thus epoxy, I believe. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that's what constitutes epoxy. You're blending two parts to create one actionable item, and in this case it is, I guess it's clay. Anyway, so you're supposed to blend them 50-50. I do it by eyeball because I've been playing with it long enough, but you should measure on your side. I can tell those two parts are not equal. So I'm going in here and I'm getting the amount of clay I think I need. Doesn't matter that I'm off screen, I'm just pulling it out of the container. So what I want to do, or what I'm trying to do, is I want to put some coral type, I guess it's coral, maybe not coral, yeah, I guess it's coral. Forget the actual type or terminology. And again, I'm trying to make these two parts equal, so I'm back digging in the other part too. When I feel like those two balls of clay are about the same size, I will blend them together, and that looks pretty good, right? Doesn't have to be exactly 50-50, that's close enough. I think I could use a tiny little bit more of the white, maybe, teeny tiny. And I'm going to mix it together. And what I really, really like about this the most, why this is a standout for me, is that we call it cement clay because anything it touches, it adheres to. It takes about 30 to 45 minutes to cure. And I'm putting the two balls together. And when you do that, it starts to activate the clay. You can see. It is epoxy. There are rules for using it. I am breaking them. Shame on me. You should be using gloves. I don't use gloves, but I don't know what you might be allergic to, or what your health problems, conditions, things might be where you're sensitive to certain materials. So please follow the directions on the containers. Do the right thing, not what I'm doing. So anyway, but I'm mixing these two. Right? Just however you do it, blend it until the marbling goes away. They're slightly different colors. This is a white epoxy clay. I am getting the black because you have to color it. Now I bought the white. They have gray, they have white, they have black. I bought the white because I like to use PearlEx powders and PanPastels to color the clay. So I did it with this. I just wanted to show you. Some bottles are play bottles. This is a play bottle for me. I wanted to show the class, the master class on blending, because it was just a great bottle for it. But I was playing around like with a bit of an octopus or squid type tentacle on the end, and I used the PanPastels to color it. But anyway, these two gemstones that I got off, rhinestone type buttons, that I got off of Amazon. I think the technical term, they're actually rhinestone cabochons. They're flatbacks. You don't need glue, and that's what's amazing. When it hardens and dries, it pulls everything that touches it, becomes cement. It cements it to it, and that's why we call it cement clay. That's a pro, that you can stick gems and jewels. I used to do a lot with it in my clay work, created some really amazing pieces. But with this right now, what I wanted to do is up the side of the bottle, I wanted to put a little bit of like a coral wreath, just some texture on the bottle, and I'm just playing with it. That's really all I'm doing. I also use this to adhere toppers, finials like this. If you have a finial, a topper that's real thin, and you want to use it but it doesn't look right, I will roll this out into a line and then wrap it around. I'll show you actually, since this is an experimental bottle. I'll take a little tiny piece of the clay and I'm going to roll it out. Just going to roll it out like this. problem is I was ill prepared. I wasn't going to do this, and now that I'm doing it, I don't have everything that I need, such as I don't have the PanPastels out, so I will have to grab them off screen. Anyway, roll it out. It's very, you know, again, I wasn't prepared to do this on camera, but if you put this, it will stick to everything. That is the beauty of it, right? And you go around like this. Okay, see, I didn't make it long enough, which is fine. I'm kind of playing. I'm not trying to create something perfect, but I probably can stretch it with my fingers by just pushing on it. Again, I have a lot of experience with clay. It doesn't matter, polymer, epoxy, whatever. So I'm going to have a lot of muscle memory when it comes to this stuff, rolling it out. If you just try this and it looks really wonky, or it took a while to get, you know, just the way that I handle the clay. But anyway, you can see what I've done here. You can actually thicken up or put, and you can decorate it by using, I have, I guess they're like the tools that people use for mandala painting. But you see what I did right there? Anyway, I apologize. I wasn't prepared to do this part, so I wasn't set up for it. I just thought I'd show you what I meant. And then you can, like, I have tools for texturing, like this, for example, you know, where I can actually put neat imprints into the clay and make it look like it has a design. I'll see if I can do it. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can do this a little bit, where I can actually get this on camera. Because, again, I wasn't prepared to do the top. I wanted to zoom in. So, okay, so here we go. I'm trying to make this look nice and even, right? Takes a minute of manipulating it. You only have so much time, too. So I stopped and did this, and just blending the clay a little bit, trying to take that edge away. Also white, you can see the problem with white is anything on your hands. If you're working with your hands, again, you should be wearing gloves, but will transfer into the clay. That's another reason for wearing gloves. But anyway, you can put this around it like that, and that will cement your finial to the top, to your bottle topper like this, or whatever you're using. And you can see how I got the clay dirty. Not really smart move, but I didn't feel like looking for my gloves. So then you can do something like this. I love these little, whatever these tools are, whatever they are. I'm just trying to make it look even, you know. It is very sticky. It's very sticky clay. You can see my fingerprints, so I'm trying to smooth those out. Anyway, and what I'm saying is that you can add a design or what have you. So like, for example, you can use these little balls on the end and do like this. And go around. My lighting is poor there. But I'm just pushing, using this little end of the ball to push little detailed divots. This is how I'm evening out that. I will get rid of that line. I'm slowly manipulating the clay and pull it out. It will be like a dent that's removed. Okay, so you see what I did there? It just kind of makes it, gives it some texture. I like imprecise. I mean, I'm not a stickler for things being super even on something that's vintage like this, because it's vintage, it's supposed to be old. Then you could do the same with the bottom. Pull it down, pull it down, pull it down. I'm kind of marrying it to the lid like it was supposed to be there. Pull it down, pull it down. I'm just pulling the clay and giving it a design so it looks more like a flower or a anything. And it, by doing this, it also makes it look like it was supposed to be there rather than an afterthought, right? So pull it down, see what's happening? Now we have a decorative looking topper that has now permanently, it will, when this thing hardens, it will cement this sucker. It's strong clay. But meanwhile, I'm over here. This is drying, and this is a problem. So I'm just going to paint that rather than go back to it because, again, I wasn't really planning to do it. But see what we did? Now, here's something fun. Oh, let me do this real quick. I'm going to continue to manipulate the, where are my powders? I'm going to continue to manipulate, there we go. See if I can do this real quick. Do I have copper? Sugar. Ugh. Let's use green. Green and blue. And so these are PearlEx powders. I don't even remember where I've got these. I got them so long ago. I've had them forever. But anyway, you can do, let me find a paintbrush real quick. I'm trying to keep my other clay, which was my original purpose, using the PearlEx powders. See, you can change the color. This is why I buy white. But I am going to get some black. And because it is clay, and it is epoxy clay, and it is sticky clay, this is all you have to do. It doesn't matter that this is not wet. It doesn't matter that it's a dry powder. In doing this, it will take it. It will adhere to it. And then you can just wipe that off later. Yeah, so just go around real quick. And then my epoxy clay, it's drying in my hand. Because I wasn't expecting to do this. But anyway, again, you have limited time. That's the disadvantage to using this type of stuff. It's really cool. It has a wonderful purpose. Does lots of neat things. But you have to have a plan before you, like what I just did, which was like, well, let's put this on here. I could have waited till after and then gotten some more clay, and that would have worked out. I'm just going to wipe this off, this stuff that's on here. It'll come right off with a brush. The thing of it is, on the clay, it'll stick. The clay is super sticky. It won't dry sticky, so anything you put on it or into it while it's wet, it will hold it. And so we will hit this in a little while with some of the gilding powders just to make it look aged. And I'm going to let stuff dry before I wipe on it. But anyway, you can paint it. You can do any number of things. I just wanted to show you that I could add this little topper here like so, and just, it's kind of cool. So that's what I do there. Anyway, now I've got powder everywhere. Not what I was going to do. Spur of the moment. So now I have this little bit. It's obviously, I've got stuff in it. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to go here on my bottle. And what am I doing? Okay, well, that is weird. What the heck am I doing, right? I wanted to put a coral on here. This will stick to the bottle. You see what I'm saying? It is cement clay. That's what it does. Wherever you put it, whatever it touches, it adheres, which is really cool. So what have I done here? I have neat little clay tools, like such as this little guy. I don't know if you can see him. It's pretty cool. It's just like a bunch of nails screwed in. And what I'm going to do with it are nail tips. And what I'm going to do is I'm now changing the texture. I'm going to create like a coral. This is what coral looks like, right? Anyway. And I'm just changing it as I go. I'm giving it that, pushing it around. This will stick to your bottle. It becomes cemented to the bottle, so you don't have to worry about doing anything else with it. I love it. It's just something really fun to work with. But again, limited time, squish, squish, squish. I'm just trying to give it that like texture of maybe what and it's okay, like if stuff like that comes out, it gives it some help, dimension. You don't want things so precise, right? And things in nature aren't symmetrical, they're not precise. I'm just stabbing this. There we go, stabby, stabby. Just stabbing it. I'm gonna push it a little bit like that. It is a little bulky. I probably would have done something a little bit different. Here we go, let's mush that down there. Trying to make it have a little bit of different so that it's not the same, you know? Now I'm just Stabbing it like this. Then I'm gonna stick stuff in it. What? Yup. I'm just changing its shape a little bit to give it some lumpies in certain spots, you know, so because coral would not be the same. So now, I'm gonna get this out of here. This is messing me up here. So I have the little shell down here. I'm just blending it out a little bit. This is a great place to put beads and other stuff. But again, this is what I call, this is not a bottle. I'm not selling this bottle. It's a practice bottle. It's an experimentation bottle. And that's what I wanted to show you, where I can practice some stuff on it. We did the blending. Now we're doing what you can do with epoxy clay. You know, and you can stick stuff in it. Look, I'm just gonna mash that right there to give it some different shapes. See what I'm doing? Just using my finger to mash it. That way it has little divots and stuff. It has different angles. Every time I change the shape of it, you could use your tool to do it too. You know, it would bleed out a little bit. It wouldn't be exactly precisely round, right? Get near the edges. So this is the designing part. I'm just, you know, bringing it out, giving it some, see what I'm doing? I've given it some real movement and texture, right? That's what we're doing. And then we are going to, now it kind of looks like, see how it looks? Now that it has all this texture in it. Now you stick stuff in it and color it, right? Now I could paint it right now, but I'm not going to do that. I wanted to take the shells that I have here and just put some little shells in it. You could put beads in it. You could do any number of things. But here, the cement clay, once you stick it in, it sticks. You don't have to do anything else, which again is what makes this stuff really neat to work with. I am going to mash a little bit around it just to make it stay in there. I'm trying to pick these skinny little, you know, let's see if I can do that. Yeah, see? And it gives it a little bit of, yeah, a little bit of shelly, real life. I'm going to adjust these with my tool, and then I'm going to push some clay down around it to help seal it in there, to make it look like it's not going to come out. I'm going to do a couple more of these, and I'm going to go get some of the other shells. It's just a way, see, now she's sitting on this, and it has this kind of three-dimensional feature to it. That's all. Sometimes it's fun to make things three-dimensional. I'm going in the back where you can't see and pushing that down. And even if some of this comes out, I'm letting it go now, as far as I'm letting nature take its course, letting it do what it does on its own. If I push and stuff comes out, I'm going to let it be organically happen. All right, now I'm going to take a couple of these. I wish I had little beads available to me. I picked the skinny pieces, the thin pieces. This one's nice, and try to pick the side that has the like abalone kind of iridescent, like that. And again, I'm going to push the clay around it. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just making sure, since we're not using glue, even though this works like glue, it helps if you push stuff in around it to keep it in place. You know, it will adhere, but if you don't get them in there far enough, you could have a problem later. Let's bleed this out a little bit. Hopefully you can see everything I'm doing. But anyway, it's just an accent. I mean, you know, I see a lot of people doing certain things, and if you want to be a little bit more unique or different, or add some three-dimensional structure, or you know, we're just trying to make it organically like it might be in the ocean, right? Do that. You could put little beads. All right, so now what am I going to do? Oh, there's a little one. I picked the skinny ones because these bottles are small. Just, oh, there's a nice little chip. They're shell chips, or we're going to go up here and put one in the top here. There we go. See, and it just push that in there, push that in there, lean that against there like that. There we go. And all we've done now is we have given the bottle a little bit more dimension. Texture. I love texture. Okay, let's do that. Now, let me see if I can find real quick. Where are my beads? Oh, that's going to be, I wasn't ready for this. So, let me see if I can find these real quick. Hang on, hang on. These kind of things are fun. Look, you don't even have to use regular beads. You can use, whatchamacallit? What are these? Bead caps or bead spacers. Look, just stick that in there. How cute is that? And that'll stick. That cement clay, that's what it does. And then I have these little crystal cabochons that we could put in there. Let's try a little shiny one over here. Again, all of this is done for the sake of teaching. These things are kind of hard to hold on to, so ugh. They are flat back, they are faceted. They're faceted little, I'm never going to be able to hold one of this. Okay, let's see if I can get that with these. Probably not. I'm not very, oh, look what I was able to do. Get out of here. Too much, maybe, too much. I could put it in there and make it sparkle. In my opinion, it's just kind of too much. So, editing, right? I know that we're got to worry about being symmetrical. And let me get this stuff out of my way. Too much. I have this cool little roller tool that I could actually roll. Just giving it texture. That's what these tools are for. Then what we're going to do, all I'm trying to do is make that look. Now, see, I find this fun too, the next thing I'm going to do. I find it fun. Now, you can use these little pushy tools and shape, you know, for shaping, getting in deeper in there, creating more of a bit of a, you know, like valleys. I'm just trying to make sure they stay in there by pushing that clay above it. Push that back and that back a little bit. Right? Get that in there. This is drying as I do this. It really, really is. So, make sure you have things where you want them, and then while you still have some time left, where's that little teeny tiny one? See how tiny that is? Boop, boop. Now I'm giving it a little bit more depth and spaces just to make it a little bit more realistic, right? Because it would be very non-symmetrical. I'm just playing with it now. Spreading some of that out, making it thin near the edges like that. Ooh, look at that. Right? Hope you find this fun. I'm enjoying myself. Just tapping these little holes and blah, blah, blah. All right, so there's our coral. Can you see that? How that looks? How that texture? And then, to make it really look like coral, we are going to color it. So what color's coral in the ocean? Well, that's a great question. I really don't know. But for the sake of our bottle, I really like this green. I'm going to blend some colors, green, brown, whatever. That's what I did over here when I was playing with the octopus tentacle. By the way, this bottle hasn't been cleaned. There's residual dust on it. I can't really clean it till everything dries. I'm using my PearlEx powder. I'm going with this bright, beautiful green, and I'm just tapping it in there. See what happens? I am coloring it. Now, the nice thing about the PearlExes and the PanPastels, You can color over top like shading. So right now I'm just throwing this green in there. And I'm going to go back with brown because I can't have this obnoxiously bright neon type of green that I just wanted to put on there for the bottle. Let me grab something else here. Hold on. So if you've never seen PanPastels, okay, hold on. All right, these are PanPastels. Now, I have two different kinds. This just happens to be a pan that it's in, but I have more over there that are stacked. And so I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna take some of this dark green to balance out that really shiny. This is like an olive, and it's like an eyeshadow in a way. And you can see it's changing the color. I just want to mute it out a little bit. I liked the green. I thought it was fun, but at the same time, it's not really an earth tone that blends with this. If I was doing a vintage bottle, I'd be doing browns and greens, but we're playing with this right now. I'm just playing with it to show you how it works. I'm just getting a bunch of the powder on my brush, tapping it in there, right? And then we'll get some brown to match the rock that she's kind of like sitting on there. Just fun. I hope your ideas, I hope when you see this stuff, it isn't just about what I'm doing. I hope that it motivates you and inspires you, like, oh, I'd love to do this on this, or you know what I mean? It's kind of just cool. So you can see that the PanPastels, I'm probably not using the right brush. We have all this texture. It takes a while to get in there. I'm going to get some brown. You can paint it, but it needs to be dry. If you're going to paint the clay, the epoxy, make sure it's dry. I honest to gosh don't know what the rules are for drying. Most things are 24 hours, like how long it actually takes before it's... Make sure you get down in those crevices. You know what I mean? Down here in the behind the scenes there. So you can see what's happening. Whether you like it or don't like it, again, this is not how I would put a bottle together from start to finish. If I was designing it, I am playing around with it and just winging stuff, and I didn't really take the time to worry about colors and what I was doing. But I'm going to go back into my powders. I used to have a brown. Oh, is this my brown? This is antique silver. Oh, I gotta find all this stuff. Where did I put them? Oh, okay, hold on, they're over here. These are all right. So these are what PanPastels look like stacked. And I do have a brown. This might be, the only problem I don't like them stacked is you can't really see the colors. Like, is this brown? That's a wrong one, came off. That happens too with these. You're trying to get them off. Ah, here we go. Perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. All right, so get these out the way. And what color is this? This is Sunset Gold. We're going to pull out the Sunset Gold PearlEx, and we're going to pull out the brown because brown is aging. And we can't have this bright, very super bright green. And I'm going in the areas that would be shaded. I don't know if you can see that with my hand in the way. See, it's touching that rock, so I'm touching it with the brown, right? We're bringing it to life by making it look more real, by shading where the dark spots would be. We're just blending in. I don't know how well you can see this. I apologize. My hand is right in the way. I'm going into these cracks and crevices, especially the ones that are touching the rock, because the rock is brown. So you see, we started with the color green. Now I could have picked a different color and it probably would have looked better. But again, I was ill prepared for this. I might go in with some gold too. Anyway, paint that later. I don't know what you're thinking about it, but you can see what we did. We created kind of a coral wreath on the side of this rock. I'm going to have to clean it up a little bit, and once the bottle's all cleaned up, I'll post pictures of it as we go along, but I just wanted to share that. I might add some blue. That's what we are doing. So practice bottle. I hope you found that interesting. Again, this is Epoxy Sculpt. Epoxy Sculpt is a 2-part resin. They sell it on Amazon. It's probably in my cart for the, oh look, let's try this green, for the upgrades, because I did a basics. We don't need this stuff in a basic cart, right? Because these are more, ooh, look at that. I get excited when, ooh, looky. And sometimes it can be too much color. I'm blending. I might be over blending, where when you're doing something, you know, vintage, it depends on what you're trying to do, but we're just playing here. And I might want to get in there with some even darker to get in the shadows. So I don't know what you think. You can tell me in the comments. Anyway, hope you're having an awesome Sunday. Let me see if I can get a close-up here. Can I get a close-up? Can you see that? All right, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. I've already at 30 minutes. How does that happen? Bye.